Do you remember the wig brand, Wigshi? I think I did a review for one of their wigs. I was wearing a Wigshi wig when we went to Deal in Kent, and I went up the pier and the wind and the rain were whipping around my head merrily and my hair was all bedraggled. That was a Wigshi wig, and they wanted me to do a new review, and I actually chose this style. So as you can see, it's shorter, and I want to go for shorter because I think that they're more practical. You know, you can wear them in at many different occasions. Okay, but the thing is, I said to them, I don't want that blonde. I would like a medium brown with some caramel highlights. They wrote me an email back and they said, can you give us a picture to show the sort of color that you mean, and we'll make it up for you. And she said something really quite miraculous, which I have to pass on to you guys. She said, take measurements of your head, send it to us, and we'll make up the cap to fit. If you are going to be investing $500 odd in a human hair wig, that you want the best outcome that you can possibly get, Wigshi seem to be giving you a unique service. I just wanted to, tell you that it's amazing that you can send an email to a wig company and say, look, I really like that style, I love that length, but not in the colors that are available. Stephen and I have been invited to a friend's house. He lives in a very smart part of a town that's not too far from here. And he's invited us for early afternoon drinks. And I think it's really nice to be invited for something specific like that. But I'm not going like this. I mean, let's just think sensibly here for a minute and recall a time before wigs and toppers were in my life. Okay, I had a little bit more hair, but not so much more hair that it actually made that much of a difference. I haven't even dyed my roots, but I'm going to slap some makeup on and put on probably Kiara again, a nice wavy bob, very nice, very versatile, perfect for dressing up or down to me. So let's see if I can actually use the accessories that I have lying around. And remember, I haven't delved into accessory shopping yet. I'm still building up my pyramid. Yeah. So whatever I've got is left over from a previous life, pretty much. Let's see if we can use some of those accessories to try and zhuzh up this pale grey, pretty nondescript, neutrals, basics outfit and see what we can achieve. So right now I'm just darkening up my roots because, as you know, I have not dyed my roots. I find it extremely tedious, to dye my hair. The dye is freezing. Sometimes if you have a sore scalp, it can really burn, and I really hate that. So you've got freezing lotion, burning sensation, and no matter how long you leave it on your scalp, it doesn't really warm up. I always feel that my bedroom, my little haven, is a wonderful place to actually experiment with things. I've got the time and the space and the full-size mirror to try different things on. I think it gives other women a glimpse into that private area, really, that a lot of that people don't get to see. How you might experiment with makeup or put an outfit together, or like in the early days when I first started wearing hair, I sat at my mirror at my dressing table in the privacy of my own bedroom for a very long time looking at Mila. I actually wore this yesterday. Look, just look, you put your brush through it. The wave is baked in. A little bit of water, and I do have water in a spray bottle, and some scrunching can bring those gorgeous beach waves back in. But look at the detail in that fringe. The colours. It's got a distinct reddish tinge, this. And it's always good to go out with a little brush in your handbag, because sometimes these bits can start clumping a tiny little bit and start falling into your face. It's great. All you have to do is just pull a brush through the sides, scrunch it up a little bit, and it springs straight back to life again. I like this grey, but it is like wearing a rain cloud. Okay, so my daughter says this is too boring. There's no definition in it. Everything sort of blends into everything else. And maybe she's right. Let's put a brown belt on. And then instead of that beige jacket, why don't we try this? There are elements of this that I like, and there are some elements that I don't like. I don't like the shape of the heel on this boot. But I do love the sort of the coziness of the colours of the fabrics here. I really like that. I think it's okay. I'm not used to seeing myself like this. Maybe what we need is a bit of jewellery. I'm really glad that I get to try these things on in the privacy of my room, because sometimes I try things on and they just really look ridiculous. When I get to a particular place, obviously I'm going to take the jacket off. So maybe I should try and think what... Oh, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. What do you think? I think it should be either or, so let's take this off. I think part of the challenge here is that I'm really not used to seeing myself like this. I feel terribly formal. Obviously, it's much colder now. We're going to be parking and walking, not too far, but a significant amount. So something like this, I'm going to be very glad of, and I'm probably going to have a red scarf. Let me see if I can fish it out. One day I'm going to break my neck going into that cupboard. Look at the state of me. So these are large wrap scarves. Very cozy, very warm. This one is a two-tone one. It's from Monsoon. I love it. This one I have had, oh my God, for so many years, and it's from Laura Ashley. But it's a lovely colour. Oh, very wintry colour. Laura Ashley really knew how to do winter. So one of those is going to be worn. Well, that was all very exhausting. And also, I've just found a little hole in my brown boots. But I have had those boots for years. So that's the perfect excuse for actually buying a pair of brown boots that I actually like. Do you remember a little while ago I was telling you about the Marks and Spencer's perfumes that are out at the moment? And I bought, and you won't be able to see this very well, but it's called Soft Oud. It's such a warm, gentle, spicy, warm spices, exotic kind of blooms. It's beautiful scent. I cannot get enough of this smell. I've got a Burberry perfume here, but you can see this was like 100 and something. Yeah, I feel like I've done an awful lot of work today for not a particularly special result. I might just keep playing around, or I might just say, sod it, I'm just going to go out like this and just get used to it. Get used to being a little bit more, I suppose it's more dressed maturely, isn't it? I think that's why I'm doing all of this. I think I'm going to be 56 in March, and I just had this sort of epiphany. I don't even know or understand where it came from. I just felt like I needed to sort of slightly change my style, change the things that I was wearing. Also, the other thing, I was a little bit fed up with having to update my items every year, you know, because they're not lasting, or they're a little bit too bright, or I don't have something for a particular occasion. Because remember, I was wearing and buying a lot of patterns, an awful lot of patterns, and patterns don't go together. They're not versatile. You can't mix and match patterns in the same way that you can neutral, plain colours. Thank you for joining me on this very convoluted, rambling, confused, uncertain vlog about my outfit of the day. I'm definitely not at the stage where I'm reaching for just the right thing. I don't have just the right shoes that I want. I don't have just the right coats that I want. There's still more stuff that I need to buy. We are going into town to meet this friend. It's a perfect excuse to pop into Marks and Spencer's and maybe get a slightly different belt. Maybe look and see if they've got any brown boots. Look at this. It's called Get Changed by Kat Farmer. And she was talking in here about the basics of styling. Dressing for your shape, and she's got me down perfectly. Section here, curve, the curvy woman. I'm most certainly the curvy woman. Look at these types of shapes that she's suggesting. Do you see this lovely dress? I love wearing dresses that go in at the waist, especially midi dresses. I find those to be the most flattering. And look at these trousers. Do you see how they're ankle grazer trousers? A pair of ankle grazer trousers with heels is everything. And this sort of shape, something that goes out a little bit, that has some embellishment on the shoulders to balance out the hips and to make the tummy look smaller. Fantastic. And you know how much I love a Bardot top, but look at the A-line of that dress. If I found a dress like this in the shops, I would buy it in an instant. And I could see there, do you see, ankle grazer trousers with boots. Like these. I know these are black, and I'm not happy about it. But I was in the shop the other day. I went to Jones in the town. I went in there to replace my brown block-heeled knee-high boots. I've had those for ages and ages, and they've got a hole in them. So I needed to replace them. And when I was in there, I just kind of went a little bit crazy. I think when you're rebuilding your wardrobe in a slightly different way, you don't always know what you need to buy, certainly not up front. What tends to happen is that I'll go to put something on one morning and I'll think, oh, I wish I had an ankle boot to go with this outfit. For example, you know that I love my midi flowing dresses that nip in at the waist and then they drape all the way down to mid-calf. I love those dresses. I will always love those dresses, and I always keep an eye out for ones that are good for winter, you know, that have the good wintry colours in them. I've come to realise that for my body shape and my kind of energy type, too much structure, because I'm busty, becomes rather counterproductive. So I put it on and I thought, I really need an ankle boot with this. Often I wear my beige knee-high boots, but I don't always want to be wearing knee-high boots. But something like this that's tall enough to go to end under the skirt, and to also wear with ankle grazer trousers is perfect. Let me put the outfit on and see what you think of it. He found some belts in my drawer, and this is quite a wide belt, very comfortable belt. Sometimes I do feel like I want to wear a darker colour. Really like this look, think it's lovely. But that particular day I needed to wear a jacket, and you remember this one? It's so comfortable, this. Other thing I can do is actually close up the jacket and put the belt over it. And I really like that. I love this. What I love about this is that you can turn the collar up. When I was watching Ask Charlie, she used to turn her collars up all the time. There was something quite vintage about doing that. It reminded me of the 80s and early 90s. People used to turn their collar up, and actually if you go out and you've got maybe a little silk scarf underneath, having your collar turned up is lovely. I love that. I feel now that I'm experimenting a little more, that I'm finding things that vibe with me better. Those very structured looks, you know, where I had the jeans and the belt and the boots. I felt like I was a trussed up chicken ready to go into the oven. But these are much more mellow. Now, let me put on my green dress and see if we can work with it, and I will show you the other pair of shoes that I'm going to keep. Now, I would never have been able to assess these boots properly in the shop. There is so much to be said to bring your things home, try them on with your clothes. I get to look at it, walk around in a carpeted space and see, is it comfortable? Does it pinch anywhere? You can't assess those things when you're in a shop. If I take this belt off, can you believe that I actually found about 6 belts in my top drawer? It just lightens up everything. You know, in as much as I don't always want to be in very pale colours, sometimes I want something very dark around me, and I want to feel that cocooned feeling of being engulfed in a nice dark colour. Sometimes you just wear something like this. So I'm starting to venture into the arena of using belts, and I've got a few different jackets now. I'm building up a good variety of shoes and boots. So I feel like I'm getting there. I'm definitely getting there. I was telling you about these Gucci shoes, that classic, very slimline loafer, very versatile. You can wear it with dresses and skirts. You can wear it with trousers. I walked into Jones. I was looking to replace my brown boots that have got a hole in them. And I saw a pair of Gucci-esque loafers there. Let me show them to you. What I liked about these was specifically the colour. It's the colour. I think that it's dark enough for it to be good in winter. It's that classic tan, but I think it's it blends into your skin tone quite well. To say that they are like butter, honestly, it's an understatement. They just hug your foot in luxury, basically. I think actually these shoes are very good with a skirt. Now I'm starting to understand that when I put on a structured trouser, I want to put on something soft and draping. What I'm trying to do is create interest and contrast in what I'm wearing. Draping, soft, structured, all of these things give your outfit a little bit more interest. So I've got these ankle grazer trousers. I've never really worn or bought anything like this before. I was going to put on a more crisp shirt, and then I thought, no, let's leave it like this. I think the shoes are fantastic. This is amazing for work. Very comfortable, breathable. I can move in it. Those are all the things that I was lacking in my wardrobe before. Those are the things that made me want to review how I was dressing, make my day-to-day experience of wearing clothes more pleasant, more useful. Perfect example, though, of how I know what I need to get. Ideally, on a day like today, it's not so hot that I really need a jacket. What I would have really liked was a slouchy, soft, thin V-neck jumper. I could roll up the sleeves and have it kind of open, you know, that V, tuck it in a little bit, and it would pair with the tan in these shoes so nicely. I'm not going to wear these trousers or this shirt today. I'm going to go back into my jeans, and I'm going to have that lovely blouse with the frill around it. Yeah, I think when you first start trying to figure out a capsule wardrobe, you're very much groping in the dark. Everything is so much an unknown quantity. And often what happens is that you try and buy things that you have always bought, which rather defies the whole object of developing your style. I think this is about evolving as a woman, you know, coming into your age, your years. And I wanted to give myself those classics like this shirt, those classics that I could keep in my wardrobe, maybe forever. Maybe when I'm 75, I'll be wearing this. I don't think it would ever go out of style. There's nothing to go out of style. It's so basic, isn't it? It's so basic. But when you put it on, it develops more interesting features. You know, the way it creates these kind of gentle folds and shapes and shows off your skin and harmonizes nicely with your skin tone. These are all really, that's what makes it classic and useful and wearable. And that's what makes it into an asset in your wardrobe. Now that I've got my padded bras, my shaped cups, I don't have to worry about that aspect at all. I now have choices in my wardrobe. Things that I can mix and match. I wouldn't wear my heart necklace, however. So let's get rid of that. Imagine that's not there. So simple, so beautiful. goes so nicely, you know, the classic clean lines of these things. It's just wonderful. So I think I'm going to keep those black boots, and I'm going to definitely keep these amazing loafers. But the funniest thing, you know, if you recall, I did say that I was going to be replacing my brown boots. That's why I went into the blasted shop in the first place. And I did see some brown boots that I liked. And they looked heavenly on the shelf. Very tall. When you put them on, they kind of slouch and wrinkle. A lot of texture, very rich chocolate colour, all the things that I love. Now, of course, I'm not going to try them on for you because once bitten, twice shy, ladies. I put these things on and they suctioned onto my leg, and Stephen and I spent about 5 minutes trying to get the blasted things off again. And for that reason, I'm definitely not buying these. And I sometimes look at photographs of very well-dressed women, and I particularly like the Parisian style of dressing. And I try and analyse what is it about those women that makes them look so good. And of course, there are design elements at play there in the way that they're dressed. But I think the key is when you look at somebody who likes what they're wearing and they feel good in it, it seems to exude a confidence and a happiness and a looseness, a kind of not being self-conscious or not being preoccupied with what you're wearing. Because once you're comfortable in your body, you like what you're wearing, you like the shape that it gives you, and it's got the elements that really vibe with you. You know, it's soft draping, it's gently structured, you've got the jewellery that you love on. It makes you not preoccupied with yourself. And where you place your attention is where other people place their attention. You don't place your attention sort of on your body, close to your body. Your attention is out into the world. It's onto other people and engaging with things around you, beauty, life, laughter, all of those lovely things. And you're part of it all, looking good, feeling relaxed. Isn't that so similar with having hair on your head? When I don't have hair on my head, how can I find it very difficult to find joy, because I'm so sort of preoccupied with my anxiety about it, wondering whether people can notice and what they think, and being sad that it actually lets down whatever efforts that I make. If I didn't have this tiara on, I wouldn't feel half the woman that I feel now. I do believe that the hair came first, and then it promoted me to look at my face and putting makeup on and liking the fact that the hair offsets the makeup really nicely, because it frames your features and it gives colour to your face. There's nothing worse than when I look in the mirror and I've got grey roots and very fine hair. I can't do anything with that. And once I'd become comfortable with what I was doing up here, and finally came to realise that there are a few different styles that I really like, and the brunettes is where I feel most comfortable. Although lots of people say you look really great in the fairer shades. I'm a brunette, I've always been a brunette. Once I was happy with what was happening up here, my attention started to move down. And I started to get those very simple basics, those boring looking, no personality to them. Those are the basics that I first started to collect. The very basic white blouses and white shirts and the stripy shirts. So I started to build up from there. And then I started to progress to the bottoms. different types of trousers that I'd never wear usually. Getting back into my jeans, which is something that I always used to try and avoid. And now I'm building up the dresses and the skirts. And having moved into the shoe area, I really feel like I've got really good shoes now. It's all about just feeling good in your own skin, keeping your confidence buoyant, being relaxed about yourself. It's just one step at a time. One thing leads to the next. And before you know it, you open up your wardrobe in the morning and you have got a working wardrobe. At 55, I've got a working wardrobe. So I'm going to now go return the brown boots, and I'm going to meet my daughter in a really huge shopping centre not far from here called Blue Water. So I will see you again very soon with the next installment of my next steps in this capsule wardrobe building life that I have chosen for myself.